Hello everyone, my name is Misty Fiello. I just finished a 6-mile run. It's a Wednesday and Wednesdays have lately been 6-mile runs for me. I didn't plan any crock pot meal or have a freezer meal already prepped for my family today, so I'm kind of pressed for time on getting dinner on the table. So I stopped by Dollar General. I got a loaf of bread, a carton of eggs, and a can of pineapple. And after I get a shower, I'm gonna show you guys how I'm gonna make a easy and super delicious meal for my family in about a half an hour. So I have my pajamas on because I am making breakfast for dinner. I'm making, if you haven't guessed yet, I'm making French toast, one of my family's favorites. I don't know if there is a kid alive who doesn't absolutely love breakfast for dinner. I also think French toast is a really good choice if you are marathon training, because it is going to be super important that after running you get some carbohydrates and some proteins in. And if you are afraid of eating things like white bread because it's high on the glycemic index, first of all, you shouldn't be marathon training. Obviously, we don't want to fuel with things like cupcakes and donuts, but a little bit of white bread should not scare you if you are marathon training. But even if it does, because it's high on the glycemic index, I want to mention to you that adding a healthy protein like eggs to simple carbohydrates like white bread causes your body to release glucose into the bloodstream a little bit slower than if you ate the white bread alone, which causes your body to treat things like French toast more like it's a complex carbohydrate. I am going to assume that you have the kids are playing video games, so you probably hear them yelling in the background. I'm going to assume that you have some staples at home. Like I'm going to be using, I'm gonna use pumpkin pie spice to make my French toast taste a little bit better. If you don't like pumpkin pie spice or you don't have pumpkin pie spice on hand, you can use cinnamon or you can use vanilla. Really, you have a lot of options with French toast. I really don't know when pumpkin pie spice became more basic than vanilla, but I'm gonna add on the screen at some point the cost of this meal. It is very inexpensive. Dollar General is not the cheapest option. You could definitely do it cheaper at Walmart or Dollar Tree, but like I said, it was super convenient for me to stop by Dollar General on the way home. Let's get into it. First, I preheated the oven to 350 degrees. Then I cracked 8 of my dozen eggs into a bowl, and I reserved 4 out for scrambled eggs. Then I didn't really measure, but I added a generous amount of pumpkin pie spice. Then I just whisked up my eggs. Then I sprayed a cookie sheet generously with some cooking spray. I'm assuming that you have something like that on hand. And then I counted out 12 slices of white bread to dip in my egg mixture. Then I dipped each slice of bread into the egg mixture, and I put it on my cookie sheet. It was kind of a little crowded on the cookie sheet, but I made it work. I am trying very hard to kick this Diet Coke habit that I have. So I had a Topo Chico while I was cooking. Topo Chico is better than any other sparkling water that I found, but I can't always get in my area. So I was super excited that I found some at my last grocery shopping trip. Then when my oven came to temperature, I put my cookie sheet with my bread and egg mixture into the oven for about 10 minutes to start. And then while the French toast was cooking in the oven, I got some lunches packed for my sons for the next day and some meal prep done for me and my husband for the next day. After 10 minutes was up on my French toast, I pulled them out of the oven and I gave them a flip, which was kind of hard to do because I had crowded my pan a little bit. And then I stuck them back in the oven, this time for 12 minutes because I didn't feel like they had browned enough at 10 minutes. So maybe next time I'll do 12 minutes on one side and 12 on the other. But this time I did 10 minutes on one side at 350 and 12 minutes on the other side at 350. Then I continued to pack lunches and meal prep while I waited on the French toast to finish on the other side. When you are marathon training and taking care of a family and working full time, you cannot afford to waste a single second. Then when my French toast was almost finished cooking, I went ahead and cracked the last 4 eggs into a bowl, whisked them up and scrambled them in my iron skillet with a little bit more of that cooking spray, sprayed into the pan. And then I topped it with a little bit of Himalayan sea salt, but I didn't season it before I cooked it. I just like mine with a little pink Himalayan sea salt. I wish I had cooked less French toast because my kids didn't eat all of their French toast. I had planned for everybody to have 3 pieces of French toast, which my husband and I definitely ate 3 pieces, but my sons maybe could have gotten by if I had just made them 2 pieces each, and then I could have had a little bit more eggs to make. My husband came in and didn't want scrambled eggs, so he actually took a couple of extra eggs out of our fridge, and he put a little bit of that cooking spray in another pan, and he made his sunny side up, which was fine. But I feel like we would have had enough food had I maybe planned a little more strategically, less French toast for the boys and a little more eggs for us to have on the side. It would have been plenty. I am just adding a couple of those pineapple rings to each of the plates. 2 of the plates got 3 and 2 of the plates got 2. So the plates that got 3, I gave those to my sons. I figured they would be more excited about getting extra pineapple. And then I had some leftover watermelon from the 4th of July that I also served just on the counter in a platter. People could grab a couple bites of watermelon if they wanted to add it to their plate. And then everything certainly would have been delicious if I had just served it as it was, but I also just added a few things that I had on hand. My boys like to add a little powdered sugar to theirs. I had a little whipped cream. I used sugar-free Mrs. Butterworth syrup, and I had regular syrup there for my sons. I also had a little bit of butter. And then here is the finished product. It was absolutely delicious. Everybody loved it. Who doesn't like breakfast for dinner? So here is the breakdown for the cost. The carton of eggs for a dozen, it costs $3.75. The loaf of bread was $1.50. I really like Dollar General's white bread. I find it is tastier than Dollar Tree's or Walmart's generic white bread. The pineapple rings were $2.45 for the can. I certainly could have left them off and just had some fruit that we already had on hand, but I wanted to show how you could add some fruit from Dollar General. All in all, this wasn't the cheapest option. It came to about $7.70. Still very inexpensive, super convenient to stop by Dollar General on my way home. But I feel like you definitely could make this meal for cheaper from Walmart or Dollar Tree. But sometimes it is just about the store that you are able to get to. And then I estimated that my meal was at about 570 calories. I only used
sugar-free syrup on my French toast, and I tried to estimate maybe about 20 calories for the cooking spray that I put in the pan, and about 20 calories for the cooking spray that I put in the oven. This is just an estimate, but it's a pretty good guess about how many calories I had in that entire meal.
So that concludes my video on putting together a super easy, somewhat inexpensive and nutritious meal while marathon training and short on time, a meal that my whole family would love and enjoy. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to get going and get some sleep. Also very super important while you are marathon training to get plenty of rest. Until the next video, keep moving and remember how lucky you are.